I think this is a wake-up call for agents. Like, man, they tried to reach out to some agents and they couldn't like get a hold of them. That's why your listing your lead doesn't work. This is Byron Lazine and Nicole White, and you are tuned into episode 375 of The Real Word.
Word is up.
Nicole's back up, and that means we're back on with the pod. Took a week off last week. Nicole had a flat tire.
Oh, my God.
From vacation.
Correct.
That's what you told me.
It's awful.
That was the reason
in Jersey.
for no pod.
We were stuck in Jersey for a little longer than we wanted.
I could have gone solo.
Oh, you know what we could have done, though? You know where I was near? The Giants training center.
Oh.
But all the tickets were sold out.
Could have done a report from there.
I mean.
I could have gone solo, but we're in the dog days of summer, and so we've stacked up a few stories here today. CoStar sues Zillow, copyright infringement, over 46,000 real estate photos. I talked about it on Knowledge Brokers, so we'll just kind of recap a little bit quickly, and then we're going to move on to this New York Times article. Zillow says the housing market is frozen, which kind of has been for 3 years. We know that transaction-wise. But Zillow's CEO says he knows if you're scrolling or not.
I mean, obviously, he better.
Okay, a little spy technique there. Knows if you've been scrolling. And then there's this USA Today article, which they interviewed. US Today interviews these buyers who are pushing the narrative that maybe the low-fee real estate agent is the way to go. There's a lot in this story that I find interesting. We'll break that down. It's on USA Today, so national publication first. CoStar suing Zillow. Probably heard the story by now. 46,979 photos allegedly have been infringed on by Zillow, alleges CoStar. Estimated views, over 250,000 displays. The sites involved will be Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com. Here's why. Trulia, Street Easy, Hot Pads, and Out East. Out East is the kind of the Street Easy of the Hamptons, Zillow owned. So all these are Zillow owned except for Realtor.com and Redfin. But remember, Realtor.com, Redfin did an exclusive agreement with Zillow where all their apartments would go to Zillow, okay? CoStar's evidence is images with visible CoStar watermark appearing across multiple listings and platforms. So if you go on the article, which we'll link down below, nowbam.com, like the watermarks are there.
It's there.
It looks pretty obvious.
It's very obvious.
This is allegedly, and I'm not an attorney.
No.
This looks obvious, I put this take on my Instagram.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious because it's such a hard one, but go ahead.
Did you hear my take on Instagram?
I didn't.
All right, so I did this. I might do this new thing on Instagram Saturdays. Let me know in the comments if you think I should do it.
I saw you.
Saturday cigars.
You were muted, and I was trying to like.
I didn't put captions on.
Maybe that's why. So sometimes maybe you should, because sometimes I don't like to listen.
Yeah,
it's loud,
I get that.
Or maybe I'm somewhere I shouldn't be listening to things.
One, let me know if you think I should do Saturday cigars with Byron. I actually had two. I had a vote, and it was like everybody was yes.
I was almost gonna say no, like enough Byron.
Two people said no.
Yeah.
I was like, I wanted to like DM them back and be like.
Oh, did you see who it was?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't.
I didn't know them. I know one of them. I was
it
like,
would have been me. I'd been like enough.
She's
Byron.
an agent in
Enough
Fairfield
Byron,
County.
please.
Like, hey, what do you mean no? Is it because of the cigar? Like you're not unfollowing me, so it's not. Anyways, not what this is about. What I said on there was my take, which is unchanged today. You know, we record these on Tuesday morning. It was obvious on these screenshots. Haley will show the screenshots, which is on the Now Bam article. The watermark is there. Zillow is not dumb.
Well, they're saying, though, if you look, though, in the initial photo, it's not. It's when you click it that you then see the watermark.
But the point is...
Yeah, it's there.
It's there.
Yes.
And it's not like this lawsuit, in my opinion... This is nothing Zillow has said. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
It's not like this lawsuit brought it to Zillow's attention. It's not like, oh, really? We mistakenly had these photos? And so I just...
So you're on Team CoStar.
No. I'm not saying I'm on any team.
Okay.
What I'm saying is I think this was a strategic move by Zillow by saying, hey, what's going to cost less? potential litigation, because CoStar's won one of these big infringement lawsuits already. What's going to cost less? Potential litigation, or we go in and get, customers right now off of this strategy, and
we'll just pay for it later.
Yeah, we're going to win now. We're going to generate traffic.
Okay.
These major companies in real estate, they're land grabbing. It's moving fast. I think the old school, like I drop, pies off every Thanksgiving to my sphere. That strategy, if that's the only strategy, old school stuff isn't going to live forever. Old school stuff layering on top of like the game that these guys are playing
like
digitally.
Hijacking people's photos.
No. So I'm not saying, I know that would upset Nicole, hijacking photos, because you get pissed when people hijack your photos.
So pissed.
You get so emotionally triggered too.
But that's where I guess I hiccup here, because maybe I still don't really even understand the whole like photo game, because I get mad, but then I talk to the photographer and he's now selling them again to some but I paid for them, so that's where like all of this gets so like,
because look at how
washy for me.
This is my I'm glad you're here. This is my overall point about this. Agents say exactly what you just said. They get emotionally
super
mad
yes.
that somebody has taken their photos.
Well, because that was my marketing strategy.
I get it.
I staged that house.
I made
sure they threw the mulch down. I may have actually put that mulch down.
You probably did put the mulch down.
I probably did.
And you're thinking of a listing right now and you're emotionally triggered by it. Put a 1 in the comments if you know Nicole knows the listing that she's thinking about right now. My point is, CoStar is not emotional about the photos, and neither is Zillow. They're playing a game of customer acquisition. Mm-hmm. What's going to cost me more or less? The lawsuit or just going and getting these customers? I'm not saying anybody should go steal photos or do anything like that. I'm saying the game has changed. The business is a dirty game, and you can say one's playing dirty or the other, and I get that.
But doesn't CoStar want the listings on Zillow? They don't.
They don't, because they don't.
So, okay, so we allow them on Zillow, like
so
through our MLS.
According to CoStar, Zillow used these photos to populate unclaimed property pages, so to prompt the owner to advertise there. So the photo is on CoStar because they're advertising on CoStarApartments.com.
So it's just generating through the internet, and then they're claiming it.
So what Zillow's doing is they're taking the photos. There's no advertisement going on, this is the alleged claim from CoStar. There's no advertisement going on, but they're using the photo to say, hey, claim your property here and advertise here, meaning spend money on Zillow to advertise your rental, because you're only spending it on CoStar.
But CoStar, right.
And so you're using the photo to get the attention of the owner. Just like the Zestimate got the attention of every homeowner, whether it was accurate or not, it got the conversation started, the conversation that the brokers weren't able to articulate with homeowners because they had nothing interesting to say. Whether you love or hate the Zestimate, it was a conversation starter. CoStar also claims that these are power features like Zestimates and personalized property recommendations, and syndicate listings across partner sites like Redfin and Realtor.com. So
you think that Zillow was purposely participating?
I think,
because I feel like they were pushing
Zillow,
more of having their homeowner claim it.
I think Zillow knows everything that is happening on their website. And I think that Zillow doesn't, you can say Zillow doesn't know what they're doing. Look at what happened with, not before Open Door partnership, buying homes, right? iBuying, Zillow iBuying. You can say, oh, they tested something, they failed at it.
Correct.
But when they go into something, they have data that backs it up. They have done a full analysis. Like,
they have smart people.
Whether this is a mistake that costs them more money through litigation than it would have just going and grinding out customer acquisition in a different way. Obviously remains to be seen, but I don't believe they just don't know what's going on their site. I mean, they know, hey, how many more views and saves are going up on every showcase, right? Like we can take those stats we use showcase and say, okay, look at this, go into a home and be like, look at showcase is driving this much information. They also know, and we're going to get into the scrolling stuff here in a second. This kind of segues in beautifully. They know when someone's looking at a home that is unlisted. This is CoStar's alleged, like, hey, you knew people were going and finding. This makes it more attractive by already having the photo on there. And so this will play out in court. This is United States District Court for the Southern District of New York. This is kind of where those big lawsuits happen, and it's CoStar versus Zillow. Zillow obviously sued in the same district by Compass, and Compass is saying, that there's companies that Zillow's teaming up with EXP to, like, I don't know. I feel like CoStar and Compass have been very cozy on and working together to attack Zillow in a certain way. I'm not alleging anything. I'm just observing.
I feel like that's the word of the day.
Allegedly. We don't want to get ourselves in trouble here. All right. New York Times, housing market is frozen. It's the headline. Zillow CEO knows you're still scrolling. So Jeremy Waxman is the CEO. And he's been in place now for a little bit over a year as a CEO. He took over as chief executive a year ago. He was chief operating officer, chief marketing officer. So he started at Zillow in 2009. So that's the thick of the GFC, subprime crisis. So it's not like he's new to real estate. Guy's been around. I know he probably doesn't have stories like some CEOs where it's like, my grandma was an agent. That's how I became an agent.
Yeah.
We hear that from CEOs all the time. Well, my mom was an agent. That's when I fell in love with being an agent. Was my mom.
It'll be like Nate.
And there'll be Nate one day saying he'll be some big executive and be like, my mom, Nicole White, was an agent.
Want to go play poker?
Just hopping around the town square.
The town square.
All right.
Oh, Lord.
So, he's a Silicon Valley guy. He's a tech guy. He's a computer guy. He was a nerd growing up. He talks about in this interview being an introvert and having to kind of change with being a CEO. It's a lot of relationship type of stuff. He says each month, Zillow attracts nearly 230 million unique visitors. Zillow surfing is a thing. Okay, so a lot of visitors. Stocks up 60% over the past year, but the market is frozen. Okay, so despite transactions being down 4 million existing home sales, this surfing on their site hasn't gone anywhere. All right, so what's interesting about this, and what's interesting, obviously, about what we were just talking about. To my point, Zillow knows everything that's going on their site. They know how many people are surfing the site. They use that in earnings call. Compass is now using that. Revkin was just on Squawk Box, CNBC the other day talking about, well, Zillow says they own 60-something% of the market share when he tries to build stats to call Zillow a monopoly, which is saying that Realtor.com, Homes.com, and Redfin is irrelevant, but that's a side note. They know now, they've figured out what to do with this traffic. So if you look at one of the things that they know before you know, who's you? Listing agents. Oftentimes Zillow knows, and they have years now of seeing this happen, that a house is about to be listed. How do they know this? Seller goes on before they call, even if they're going to call somebody that they have a relationship with, they're thinking about, they're going to just go on Zillow. Hey, before we call so-and-so, let's go on Zillow and just look at what Zillow says.
What does it say?
What does this estimate say before we talk to this? Because what are they trying to do? Hey, so-and-so around the corner sold for this number. I don't know what the agent's going to say. We need another piece of data. Like this number sold. What does Zillow think? Right. And those are the two numbers that they're kind of, here's what we want. Here's what Zillow says. And here's what the neighbor had. Yeah. So those are the 3 points of data that they're looking at. And so Zillow's now been able to see over years, hey, when this house gets a couple clicks, it hasn't been on the market. There's been no clicks. Nobody would click this house. Why would they be clicking on this house?
Just 2 clicks. They're seeing just 2 clicks.
Maybe seeing a couple clicks.
Wow.
And then within 2-3 weeks on the
goes
market. And so you can see that over time. And now what are they doing? They're advertising, obviously, opportunities.
If you're a numbers guy, that back end must be like wild.
I mean, they were AI before AI. Zillow's estimate was an automated valuation
No, I just
method.
mean clicking, like seeing the clicks and then like,
Yeah, I mean,
just
but it's basically coming out in some big report or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
But there you go. So now they're attaching seller leads to their agent partners. They're using the carrot of Showcase, which what seller, if they, oh, here's my estimate. Oh, wait, Zillow's saying I should be on Showcase. Should I talk to my agent about Showcase? It increases views 3x. It increases like, oh, this is really smart. Not only to say, oh, I know everybody's surfing, but when they're surfing for something specific in the future, what's the carrot Zillow's going to put in front of them? And so now maybe they got themselves in hot water going back to the CoStar thing.
Yeah.
But they're using it to their advantage as well. Any thoughts on this this analysis here from the CEO in this interview?
Not really. I mean, everyone's on Zillow. My dad's on Zillow. He's not even looking to sell his house.
Here's what somebody says. Some say Zillow, here's what the reporter says from New York Times. Some say Zillow hurts sellers because it limits how they are able to market their properties, talking about the Compass lawsuit. So they asked about the Compass lawsuit. Yeah. So, the Zillow ban, which critics are calling it the Zillow ban, the listing standards. Mm-hmm. Some say Zillow hurts sellers because it limits how they're able to market their properties. What if people don't want to market their homes widely at first? He goes, Waxman says the reality is with private listings, sellers lose money. So he's just going straight to numbers. Sellers who sold privately left more than $1 billion on the table in 23 and 24. The great news is the majority of buyers want to be able to see all inventory, and the vast majority of sellers want to see their home broadly marketed. So here's the follow-up question. How, as a user, can you be assured you're not being driven to an agent who isn't knowledgeable about a house or a neighborhood? So talking about the monetization of these leads. And the CEO of Zillow says you can go meet them, tour a home with them, and then sign an agreement if you like working with them. Yeah, so I thought that was the right answer. What Zillow has said is we did listings, buyer leads to listing agents, which is what CoStar does. And we had a whole bunch of impact on consumers saying, we're not able to get a hold of anybody. I can't get a hold of anybody. I'm using Zillow. I can't get in touch with people. So they changed that. Customer experience went up. They do customer experience surveys all the time. Do you like that you got a hold of somebody? Yeah, I prefer to get a hold of somebody. Now you can make a decision, obviously, on that, and that's his take. Obviously, let us know what your take is there. All right, USA Today. This is the one I really wanted to get to. If you stuck with us, hit thumbs up here on YouTube. This one's good. All right, USA Today says the housing market is changing. Is a low-fee real estate agent the way to go? So they've got a story of Johnny and Jen. Johnny and Jen began house hunting, and they weren't sure what to expect. It was the first purchase for the couple. They're both 29. They're in San Diego, competitive market. They need some hands-on guidance. But the real estate agents they contacted were no help. Mm-hmm. USA Today does not say how many agents they tried to contact. Do you know how many agents are in San Diego?
I'm sure quite a few.
Lots.
Well, and it was probably like a cousin or an aunt or a part-time,
So they say these agents appear to be too busy to offer the kind of service the couple wanted. They decided to instead work with a new company that offers flat-fee brokerage services for buyers. Okay. They say that the cost savings was helpful. We'll break into how much they maybe even saved. But they also felt, Johnny and Jen, that they got the support they needed, suggested homes that matched their criteria. Remember, that's the number one thing buyers want, help finding a home. Right. And that was the first thing at their list. It backs up that NAR survey, that viewing appointments, online chats about everything from scheduling and everything about the home buying process. They're quoted by the USA Today. We truly needed that hold-handing because it was our first property. And so in an age when Americans do everything from writing their wills to ordering their groceries online and without a middleman, the residential real estate industry remains stubbornly entrenched in tradition. It's what I was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go out and steal photos, but you got to get digitally savvy and you got to be treating your business like a business right now because the money is moving into traditional real estate. And your pie at Thanksgiving ain't going to help you. It can be a cherry on top, a nice thing to do
locally.
when you have a digital true experience to connect with your clients for life, but it's not the end all be all and you won't grow a business that way. In fact, I think your business will get chipped away by these big movers coming in online. Look at everything people do. Gen Z isn't going to be like, dude, you dropped off a pie. I'm sugar free.
Right. Ooh, you're right. I'm gluten.
I'm gluten free. And no apple
dairy.
pie's for losers, pal. Like, get this apple pie away from me. Gen Z isn't playing the old game. I'm telling you right now. They're about to age up. Millennials are aged up. You can't rely on what worked 50 years ago. So USA Today interviews them.
I will argue a little there, though, because I don't think it's so much about
push back on that.
The pie as much as it is like the pop by. Like, hey, how are you? Good to see you. Ideally, you're not just giving a pie. Maybe 3 months later, you're coming by and like.
I'll tell you right now, I don't want my financial planner ever to freaking pop by my house, ever. And I'm friends with him.
Yeah.
And I don't want him to come unannounced.
Okay.
Ever.
Well, but maybe it's not unannounced.
Right. Which means he's got.
But then you're making my only point is if that gives you personally for your business, like the forced way of putting it into your calendar that you are touching base with them, I don't think it's a terrible thing. Maybe it's not a pie, but at least put in your calendar that, hey, I would be giving a pie. Call them and see how they are.
Like if I were
checking in.
If I were
gonna
stop by your house,
I'm hiding.
If I'm downtown,
I'm hiding.
If I'm downtown,
I'm
picking
turning
up dry
my
cleaning,
shower on,
and I'm saying,
I'm pretending I'm in the shower.
I'm not here. No, but if I were to,
my car's in the driveway.
If I'm downtown and I'm like, oh, I want to stop at Nicole's and get that bottle of tequila I forgot at our bar.
I have that stuff.
You didn't drink that? If I would text you, hey, you home right now?
Yeah.
Like I would text you first, right? So like I think when we say pop by, people take it literally. Let's like just pop by on somebody.
Yeah.
Dude, my financial planner did that. I'd be like, dude, what are you, nuts?
But my only point is I don't think it's a bad, like if you're not touching base with them at all, that's I think a worse business plan than at least like maybe you're not actually physically giving a pie, but if giving a pie is your excuse to make sure that you're reaching out to them, I think that's okay.
The best way my financial planner touches base with me,
well, hey, I made money,
is by sending me relevant information about my money and a portal for me to be able to have an eye into what's going on. That's the best.
I hear you, but I don't think that needs to be a generic email that you can tell that
everyone
it's not a
generic email, but no, not a newsletter. I'm not talking about a newsletter. Just like, here's some information that's going on right now on your specific investments. And then I have a lot, I can obviously get into the portal and then go deeper and see what's going on with the money.
Fine.
Okay. I want to see what's going on with my house, with the market.
That I agree with. I guess like we're.
So there's this company
saying the same word. I'm just.
Yeah. So there's this company that they use called Turbo Home.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, Turbo Home reminds me of TurboTax.
Is that a bad thing or a good thing?
I mean, I'm sure it's a great service for a lot of people. Like I think if you're financially illiterate, TurboTax is probably
the worst thing you can do. Don't you need more guidance then? I'm not going.
I think it's probably a solution you end up with.
I think TurboTax is great for my 20-year-old child that only is putting in one W-2.
I think if you're financially illiterate, TurboTax is a solution you end up using because. Go back to start A, you're financially illiterate, right? Like, you're like, oh, this seems easy. This seems like it's going to save me money. It seems like I can just kind of plug in and.
Well, but you can meet somebody. I met somebody at TurboTax. My husband used to go physically to TurboTax. Oh, maybe it wasn't TurboTax. What is that? H&R Block. What do they do? Who has the actual... Is that H&R Block?
Agents, we all want and need more listings. We want to be able to capture the business from our clients. So it means we need to stay in front of them, front and center when they're thinking about real estate, when they're making a real estate decision. So I love what Reminder Media is doing for agents across the country, producing high quality physical and digital magazines where you can tell a full story about what's going on in your community, what's happening in the market, and reminding people that you are the expert that they should be reaching out to when it comes to making a real estate decision. Reminder Media is a resource that you need in your corner to stay in front of your clients. You also get a free sample magazine by using the link that I'll put right down below. Check out Reminder Media and everything that they have to offer you and helping you stay in front of your clients. Well, you got H&R. They just kind of,
Yeah.
well, I don't know. But anyways, Turbo Home is who they use.
So you think it's a bad name?
So,
you think it was a bad marketing?
Well, it reminds me of TurboTax. I think it probably is the audience that they're trying to capture. Johnny and Jen bought a house for $679,000. USA Today says buyer agents commission traditionally could have been $20,000. Well, there is no traditional commission, and in San Diego, it wouldn't be $20,000; it'd be closer to $2,000. If we cut it in the middle and we said 2.5, that's just under $17,000. Anyways, USA Today, of course, same bucket as Wall Street Journal, has no idea what they're talking about. They tell
stories like I do.
Turbo Home's fee was less than half of that, though, less than half of the even 17,000 that I came up with on just a 2.5 example. Could have been closer to 2 or whatever. Their fee was $7,500, and the seller agreed to pay it. I mean, that happens
all the time
in negotiation, obviously, all the time, and they were able to apply that to their loan. And obviously, a lot of buyers prefer to do that. Michael Ketchmark, a lot of buyers prefer to wrap that into their loan. Warren Buffett told you this was the best solution. How the real estate commission lawsuits chain, blah, 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 blah. So anyways, this Turbo Home solution, they said ended up saving them some money. Now, they thought it was a little bit more hands-on approach, this flat fee service. What were the differences between the services they got and what you think maybe a more hands-on, full-service agent would provide?
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
They never even, I guess the problem is that they gave up before they even met an agent.
Yeah, because they said they
made calls and they were too busy.
It was hard to get a hold of an agent. I'll address that. Lisa Gill, an analyst with Consumer Reports, thinks that there are advantages to working with traditional agents, working off of, when they say traditional,
these flat fees could be just the same way. I'm assuming there's a being.
Yeah. But the traditional, it depends on each company. And if you're talking to a service center, file being passed on multiple times, because if somebody's not driven by compensation, what's your service Sunday at 3 p.m. to get a phone call?
Their hand-holding sounded like they just wanted to know more. I'm assuming more
they
about
were checking in on video chats and these kind of things. Yeah. So they were a little bit more hands-on. This Consumer Report, Lisa, real estate is very much a relationship business, particularly in a very competitive market. It can benefit both buyers and sellers to have a representative who's tapped into a network of agents.
Right.
Even Turbo Home's CEO agrees there are plenty of types of transactions where the buyer seller may want that kind of high-touch experience. But there are also advantages like Turbo Home, which doesn't require that clients be exclusive to them. That means if another real estate agent to find a property, there's no penalty for walking away. So you're getting less of that, like, I've got somebody right here when I need them right now. You're kind of logging into something. My point about the game changing, I say it all the time, the fact that they ended up at Turbo Home, which I have no problem with Turbo Home existing in the marketplace.
Let's go.
I think this is great.
It's only in California and Texas, though.
Yep. I think it's great that these solutions are out there because I want to, obviously, I want to be able to provide the best solution, and that separates competition in and of itself. But I think this is a wake-up call for agents. Like, man, they tried to reach out to some agents and they couldn't get a hold of them. That's why your listing your lead doesn't work. That's why as these big companies move in and they're available for the lead when the lead is hot on making a decision, when they have a funnel that actually will accommodate 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., calls, texts, and emails with instant responses, they're going to take market share. And this is where agents have to stop saying, well, the pie should buy me 24 hours to do a callback. No, your business is not going to like, consumers are not going to wait around for the calendar and the business and the hour to match up perfectly to your schedule. You have got to be in a situation here moving forward that your business can accommodate instant reactions. So is that building the infrastructure? Is that latching on to the infrastructure? The middle's dead. Okay, the agent who's got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people working for them to accommodate that kind of response time, the big teams that I say, the middle moving forward, that's where market share is going to get eaten up from. And so, again, let me know if you disagree. If people like waiting, leads like waiting 3 hours for a response.
I would ask that agent, hey, go buy a car. Like, don't you want I would want someone to respond to me
Go do anything in your life.
Right. Yeah, go get a home equity line.
Go do anything.
You're going to want that answer right away because you got a kitchen to go remodel.
I don't like waiting. You wait for attorneys because they're kind of old school. I don't like waiting for attorneys.
That. You weren't even willing to wait for your car tire to be replaced, so you left the car.
So Nicole had the flat tire, bringing it all the way back last week. I was reminded of a rental car I had, and they're like, "You got to wait 3 hours for the people to come." And
peace.
I said, "No, your car's here. I'm getting an Uber. I'm out. Your car's on the side road. I could care less, by the way, what happens to the car. It's not my car."
Uber showed up in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
right. That's the point. Yeah.
All right. Let us know what you think. A lot going on there. CoStar sue, Zillow scrolling, New York Times article, and then obviously this USA Today article. I think the USA Today article is a wake-up call, a reminder. Things are definitely changing. A lot of money moving into the space, and you got to be ready for it. Let us know what you think. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it already. Now, bam, on YouTube. Free and simple way to support us. Nicole, glad to have you back.
Always happy to be here. Oh, we're not together next week though, huh?
No, I'll be back.
It's a shame.
Be out of CT.
It's a shame.
Yeah. But we'll be on. So
we'll be here.
Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you then. Keep it real.
See you guys.
Arizona and West Coast agents. The only in-person BAM event this year is happening September 24th in Scottsdale, Arizona. Join us in Arizona for this full day event. Mid-tier pricing, halfway sold out. Only 8 VIP tickets left. And we do still have general admission. There's a link down below if you're interested. September 24th, Scottsdale. Can't wait to see you there.